Happy Easter to everyone. Coming up today on The Link, we're going to learn more from LavannLandrum about the Coweta Community Foundation, and we also have recently had visitors from the state of Oregon to see what CEC is all about. Stay with us. Welcome to The Link. I'm Lana Mobley.
And I'm Mark Whitlock.
If you didn't go to Dragon for Dollars on Saturday night, you missed an event of the season.
An event of the season. I raised a lot of money. I can't stop laughing.
Mark, I don't think I laughed as hard in all my life. And I will say, and I will admit this in public, I have a dress that's exactly like Bert Horton wore.
Yeah. I'm not sure Bert would admit.
I'm not sure if that means I've got class or he's got class or neither one of us have class.
It was a terrific event. Lots of dollars raised.
They raised a lot of dollars. And you know, it takes a lot of nerve for those guys to get up there.
You know what? It takes a lot of practice, a lot of planning, a lot of thinking through what you're going to do.
Miss Disaster, a.k.a. Lamar Wright, was hysterical too.
Yeah.
You know, some of our leaders in the community continue to surprise me every year.
Well, it's amazing the talent they have.
Well, they are. They are very talented men or
really
women.
They really are very talented fundraisers.
That's right.
Yes.
Well, you have two interviews this week that are going to be very interesting. You had the opportunity recently when some Oregon officials from the school system came.
Right.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, recently Sharon Klein, who's the superintendent of Yamhill Carlton School District in Oregon, called and said, we've been studying CEC from a distance. We want to do something similar in Oregon. I want to bring a team to CEC. So that's what that school district did. They were here for an entire day. Mm-hmm. They met a lot of our staff. They met a lot of our team members. They got a good view, I think, of CEC, and they're going to do something similar in Oregon.
Wow, that is exciting. When you think of the emphasis that and the just the expansiveness of what CEC has done over the years, from Georgia to Oregon to all over the world.
To everywhere. And I'm going to get to talk with LavannLandrum, who's the vice chair of Coweta Community Foundation. She's going to update us on some great things happening with Coweta Community Foundation.
You know, they do a great job. Ginger Queener and Lavann and all the board there does a fabulous job. And then it's next week we've got a lot more coming up in the community, but this is going to be great today to learn about what Oregon's doing and what the Coweta Community Foundation is doing.
It's going to be a great show. You stay tuned. The Link will be right back.
Michael Simon here. Yes, that's me, the handsome guy right there. Join me for America's best beer and food on the new season of Burgers, Brew, and Q. Check out that huge burger. I could hide behind this burger. Just look at that smoked meat. I feel a tear coming to my eye. Everybody told me this is the place I gotta come. I was just gonna say, these would be awesome with beer. And there you are. Cheers. I love my job. Come along for the ride. Giddy up. All new, Friday at 10:30. Burgers, Brew, and Q. Food Network, dig in.
Welcome back to The Link. We are delighted to welcome to the set of The Link LavannLandrum, Vice Chair, Coweta Community Foundation. Lavann, welcome to The Link.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
We are glad to have you here because there's been a lot of progress made with the Coweta Community Foundation. We're going to get you to update us on that. But first of all, help us understand, what is the foundation? Why does it exist?
That's a great thing. I think a lot of people don't know what the Coweta Community Foundation is, but we are very simply an organization that is focused on building philanthropic support for Coweta County and for the issues in Coweta County, primarily through the non-for-profit organizations that serve the county.
Okay. So you serve not-for-profits in the community, and I think that's probably rather distinctive for the Coweta Community Foundation. I'm not sure there are a lot of other foundations and communities that do that.
Well, there are community foundations in a lot of larger communities across Georgia. Ours is unique in a lot of ways. Our partnership with the not-for-profit communities is very distinctive, as you say. and the fact that we also work with many of our employers to enable employees to participate by payroll deduction in supporting the foundation is another very unique. In fact, I don't think there's another community foundation in the country that has a program like ours.
Talk a little bit about that, LaVann, because you do get a lot of support from local companies, local employers. Talk about how that works.
Well, and that's a great way for you know, it's easy to give when you give a little bit every paycheck. Right. Even if it's $1 every paycheck, when a lot of employees are doing that, it adds up to great monies to support the non-for-profit agencies. So we are very fortunate that several of the larger companies have opened their doors to us to be able to reach out and give their employees a chance to participate. And we're always looking for more companies who can do that as well. So we encourage anyone who may be interested in learning more about that to get in touch with us.
LaVann, to do that, to have employers welcome you in as they do in this community, it suggests that the foundation has a lot of credibility. You've been around a while. Talk about how long the foundation has existed and maybe some of the early things that you did in our community.
The foundation has been around for a while. It's about 20 years old. And one of the first projects that the foundation did is something that many people in this community know about. It's Kids Castle Park, the playground. Yeah. So the community foundation was involved in raising the funds and building that playground. And in fact, just last fall, we were able to work with Lowe's through their employee volunteer program, and they came in and completely overhauled the park. Wow. So I would encourage anyone who hasn't been there in a while, go out and visit Kids Castle Park. The weather's beautiful. It's a great time to be outside. But I think you'll be pleased at the improvements and just general maintenance that's happened out there. It's looking great.
LaVann, you've helped us understand that the Community Foundation works with nonprofits. That's very distinctive. That you work with employers and you get payroll deductions. So many people in the community can contribute a little bit at a time. And you've done some really signature things. You keep growing and changing as a foundation. You've got a student advisory board now that you've just started.
Just started this year. We're very excited about this because we realize that part of our role is educating students about philanthropy, about what it means in the community, how it contributes and makes the community rich, and how individuals support organizations. So just this year we had our first board of 9th and 10th grade students from, I believe, all the schools in Coweta County. And they meet regularly, and after hearing overviews about various not-for-profit organizations in the county, they've each chosen to work with and to learn more in depth about a particular charity. And they are then will have the opportunity to make a gift through pooled resources that we have to support that charity at the end of the term. So it's a great way for a student to come in, attend a board meeting, learn what the missions are of the various organizations, how a not-for-profit organization works, how it depends on support from the community, and how it has to meet a vital mission in the community.
So you're teaching philanthropy
yes.
at young ages. That's great. LaVann, you continue to grow in terms of the amount of support you're providing. Give us a sketch of just how much the foundation is growing.
Well, part of our work is in raising the money, and I talked about some of the ways that we raise the money through employee giving donations, but also through special events and seeking other sources. But we do that in order to support the nonprofit agencies. So one of the ways that we support them is through a grants program. And just in January, we awarded $25,000 in grants to several nonprofit organizations in the county. Right. We were excited. That's the most that we've ever awarded, but we're not satisfied with that amount. In fact, we have raised money for next year's pool of grant awards to be $40,000.
That's great.
We're pleased with that. Yeah. But not satisfied.
There you go.
So we really want to hit 6 figures in giving, and we're on a path to be able to do that.
You're on the path to do that. LaVann, we've got just a short time to wrap up our segment, but talk about some things upcoming and ways that people can get involved with the foundation.
Great. There are a lot of ways, and we welcome involvement. There are volunteer opportunities either at the foundation office or with some of the nonprofits, so we're happy to help people who want to get involved hands-on. We always encourage and are opening to donations, so anyone who wants to make a gift, we can put it to use, or to establish a donor-advised fund. We can talk about that. We have special events, and in fact, we have a new one coming up this spring on April the 21st at Blaylock Lakes. We have Saturday Down South, and it will be an all-day event that begins with sports clay shooting contest, and then a luncheon and a dinner and a dance. So a place for anyone to get involved. You don't have to shoot if you don't want to shoot. You can just come dinner and dance. That's great, or stay for the whole day. So
great way to wrap up our segment. People can get involved with the Coweta Community Foundation, continuing to grow to support nonprofits in our community. LavannLandrum, Vice Chair, Coweta Community Foundation, thanks for being with us today on The Link.
thank you.
You stay tuned. The Link will be right back.
Flea Market Flip is back.
It's like a treasure hunt, it's a history lesson, it's a bargain.
I think these are perfect.
It's just so fun and gratifying to see these old pieces get a second chance.
It's a 1930s foundry mold, and it was made to spin belts.
I'm seeing coffee table with big piece of glass.
The winner, $5,000. That's a lot of money at a flea market. What I could do with $5,000.
We don't play, we win.
Flea Market Flip, Sunday at 8, 7 Central on Great American Country.
Welcome back to The Link. We are delighted to welcome to the set of The Link Sharan Klein, Superintendent, Yamhill Carlton School District in Oregon, Yamhill, Oregon.
Yes, we are, yeah.
Sharan, welcome to The Link and welcome to our community and welcome to Central Educational Center.
Well, thanks for having me. It's been wonderful so far and we're really enjoying the visit. My whole team is fascinated by the work you're doing here.
Great. Sharan, you are here for a very special reason. You've got some big plans.
We do. Little context. We're from Oregon. A big geographic, small population up in the Pacific Northwest. We've only about 4 million people in the entire state. What we have found in our community, Yamhill Carlton, is very small. We're talking about 2 communities of about 1,500 people each. Our school district in itself has about 1,200 students in it, and covering the surrounding area. In the state of Oregon, what we found is career technical education has really dropped off over the last few years. Kind of the results of the No Child Left Behind Act, as people focused their resources towards trying to get people to pass tests, and then with the economic downturn, the budgets in Oregon were slashed. And programs sort of dropped off the map. Has left a great hole in our economy. And all of a sudden, everybody is waking up to the idea that we don't have students, we don't have young people who are trained to go out and help our economy work forward. So we're trying to develop a program in Yamhill Carlton specifically to help that happen in our area.
So you've been working at this a while. You've just recently, I think, won a grant.
We did. We've been working on this for a little while. We recently got about a $220,000 grant to develop a career academy. And that started with, really started with local businesses. We had some local industry people come to us and say, we need to have people who work for us, who can work in our industry, and we can't find them. If you will train them, we will make big investments into your programs with equipment and materials and education, and we'll help you, you will help us, and it's working great. So we started on that, and then we began to ask the question, okay, so we're working on it, we're learning it, we're developing it. Is this the right way to do it? What's the best way to do it? And so we started doing research, and we ran into a concept of a career academy, and one of the things that quickly popped out of the research was the CEC, and the great work that the CEC is doing, and its ability to replicate itself throughout Georgia. And we said, wow, if the CEC can replicate itself in Georgia, then we ought to be able to replicate part of what they're doing in Oregon. And that's really what's brought us here.
Sharan, you've got a team who's been here at CEC. Talk about your team and what they're finding and what they're trying to find in the visit to Coweta and to CEC.
Sure. Well, we're a very small school district, as I mentioned, and so we actually have a pretty significant part of our high school staff with us here today. We have the high school principal with us, we've got our high school counselor, we have one of our science teachers, we have one of our math teachers, we have one of our sorry, our math teachers. Then we have our agriculture teacher. So we've got a whole group of folks. What we're looking at is how do we integrate regular academics in with a career focus. Our agriculture program, for instance, right now is doing some great work. We have a vineyard on campus, about 1.5 acres of Pinot Noir. It's grapes and making wine is a big deal in our area.
That's the wine growing region in Oregon?
It is. It's one of them.
Yeah.
It's one of them. We're specific to kind of a Pinot area. I could go on for a while about wine growing in Oregon. We won't get there too much. But the idea is that we have a lot of different things that we're trying to do in a very small school. And so I need my science teacher to create a class that's both an academic and career-focused class, but at the same time have to handle classes that are more traditional college prep.
Right.
And so our folks are down here to try and get a sense of how some of that work is being done here. CEC is a little bit different in that it serves a lot of high schools. Teachers here aren't necessarily focused on trying to do two different things. We will have to have that burden. But we believe that the lessons that have been learned here will help inform us as we go forward building our new place.
Shireen, you're looking at other places also. Where else are you doing research?
So tomorrow we're heading over to Newton, Georgia, which is one of the replication sites for CEC. It's got a little bit different focus. They have a little more agriculture there, which is good for us. You've got a lot of machine work here, which is a program we do. That's good for us here. And so just seeing from kind of the hub here to how it was replicated somewhere else, we're very interested to see what the consistency looks like, how the teaching methods stay the same or change. We're interested to see how students react to it, what kind of student is served here. One of the things that's happened in Oregon is traditionally your shop classes sort of served the kids who weren't going to college. But we all know that doesn't really work anymore because kids need technical skills no matter what they're doing, right? And so how is it that we're getting students who are traditionally college-bound into technically focused classes? And part of our issue is how do you get over parent expectations of that to show them that this is a great way for your students to go out and have a successful life.
Yeah. Shireen, in our last 30 seconds, could you kind of sum up the culture, the team that you're trying to build? Because I know that's important to you.
Oh, it absolutely is. This will only be done by having a coherent team with a coherent vision about what they're trying to do. We're going to have disagreements among the staff members just how to do it, but the idea of developing a consistent vision of where we're going, how that's going to be put together, and what the methods are to do that are going to be very important.
Great, great. Shireen Klein, Superintendent, Yamhill Carlton School District, Yamhill, Oregon. Welcome to Coweta County. Welcome to Noonan. Welcome to Central Educational Center. Thanks for being with us on The Link.
Well, thank you for hosting us.
You stay tuned. The Link will be right back.
An INSP original series.
For those who gave their all.
Man down! Man down! I repeat, man down!
I think about him every day.
One man dedicates his gifts.
I promise I won't let you down, man.
To get to know them.
He jumped on the helicopter because it was his friends that needed backup.
And create a portrait to bring healing.
Brian came home.
For the families they left behind.
Let's pay tribute to an American hero.
Brush of Honor, a new original series narrated by Gary Sinise, premiering May 21st at 9 Eastern on INSP.
March and April are full of activities in our community. Ruby, what's on your calendar this week?
I'm Ruby Gould, and I'm bringing you your community calendar for the week. The Noonan Coweta Historical Society's first annual Easter egg roll will be on Saturday, March 26th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the McRitchie Hollis Museum. You can meet the Easter Bunny, hunt for eggs, get your face painted, decorate Easter eggs, and much more. Call 770-251-0207 for more information. Chattahoochee Bend State Park will host a night hike sensory awareness for ages 8 and older on Friday, March 25th from 8 to 9:30 p.m. The cost is $5 per person. The hike will be 2 miles long along the Riverside Trail. Please pre-register. You can call 770-254-7271 for more information. The Coweta Public Library System will host Crafty Kids on Monday, March 28th from 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. at the Sonoya branch. Ages 2 to 5 years old are welcome. The program will expand their learning about the seasons through crafts. I'm Ruby Gould, and that was your community calendar for the week.
Our pet of the week this week is a Welsh Corgi named Lisa. Let's take a look.
Hey guys, Jeanette and Lisa with the Noonan-Coweta Humane Society down here at Coweta County Animal Control, showcasing this beautiful girl. This is also Lisa. She is going to be our pet of the week this week. She's a gorgeous Australian Shepherd Corgi mix. She is an A20, that's her kennel number. She's only about a year old and she was picked up as a stray from Bohannon Road. But folks, as stunningly beautiful as she is, she also has a twin brother in the cage next to her. So if you're looking for two dogs, it'd be wonderful for them to go together because they're both so scared and so nervous down here at Animal Control. But either way, we need to make sure that this girl gets a home. So somebody out there, come on down and adopt Lisa. She's down here waiting for her new forever home. Back to you guys in the studio.
We hope you enjoyed the show today. We enjoyed having you. You learned a lot about the Coweta Community Foundation and also what states across the country are doing to replicate CEC.
It was great to have Sharan Klein from the Yamhill Carlton School District. He brought a team here and they got to spend time with our team at CEC. It was good to have LavannLandrum on and to learn about what's happening with the Coweta Community Foundation. They're really growing.
They really are growing. And also in relation to the Oregon group, I actually spent some time with them also talking about how to work with the business community in their area to help partner what we do, what Grenzebach, what Yamaha, what Yokogawa, all the companies in our area do.
Such an important part of what makes CEC is that relationship with business and industry. TheLink is a great model for that.
Well,
we appreciate that.
It makes it easier for us too because we couldn't do all this without CEC here to help us.
Great things coming up next week.
We do. We have Relay for Life. Stephanie Martin, I believe, is going to be here to talk about that, and then Natalie Batcho is going to talk about Abby's Angels Foundation and the run coming up. That foundation is expanding into Alabama to help young people in the schools there.
It's amazing what a great job they do and how others are picking up on the need for connecting to that foundation.
Right, and helping teen drivers make sure they don't get distracted.
Exactly,
yeah.
Exactly.
And then also coming up, it won't be any time until the Taste of Noonan, Coweta's Dancing Stars, and then also this last weekend, Screen on the Green, and the Art Walk was great. So, you know, springtime is here, and that means activities in the community.
Springtime is here. There's a lot going on in this community. Hope everybody gets involved and finds their place in the community.
Absolutely. Yeah. We hope that you enjoyed the show today, and we will see you next time.
Have a great week.